Finally, yes. The Xbox PC games, they're coming, ladies and gentlemen. At last, great news. It just needed a little bit of patience as we see our first Xbox PC games come to GeForceNow in the form of Gears 5. And it's taken me right back to when I first played Gears 5. That and all the other news is what we're going to be talking about tonight. So without further ado, the pointy fingers ready, time to press the titles. Yokoso, 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 arigato gozaimasu. You are most welcome, of course, to the GeForceNow Thursday chat, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're good. I hope you are well. As, yes, it's a good one this week. It's a good one. After a few quiet weeks here and there, maybe bar the Capcom announcement with the Resident Evil titles, it's been pretty quiet on the old GeForceNow front, really. I mean, keep delivering the games and all of that. But the promise of the Xbox PC games with the announcement of the Nvidia Microsoft deal, at least a month ago, 2 months ago? Remember quite how long? I think we can talk in months rather than weeks, put it that way. Yeah? 2 months maybe. Yeah? But finally, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see them. We're going to start seeing them. And I have it on reasonable authority that we're going to start, seeing them on a regular basis. There'll be, we already know, for instance, most of the non-Xbox PC games that are coming to GeForceNow during May. Anybody who's watched my GeForceNow May Games video will certainly know. So we've got all those games that are coming. Plus now, on a regular basis, we're going to be seeing the odd Xbox PC title. Or, as they sort of put in the blog post, Xbox and Bethesda titles. And it looks like it's some of those Bethesda titles that are coming along first. And we're going to be looking at that, and we'll look at them in the news and all of that. As ever, what I want to know from you, ladies and gentlemen, is what games you've been playing and what games you're most looking forward to from the Xbox PC game catalog. And we'll also be kind of looking about why you might want to play some of these Xbox PC games via GeForceNow, especially GeForceNow Ultimate, especially a game as visually appetizing and stunning as Gears 5 was. Bear in mind, it came out, 2019? Was it even earlier? And I remember playing through it, really enjoyed it. Some really tough elements to it for me, personally. Reminds me a bit like of A Plague's Tale. There were some really difficult boss levels that took me ages. I know Lord Kensal did a video. It's one of his most watched videos on his tiny little channel. Is him doing one of the boss levels on it, because obviously he wasn't the only one that had issues with that particular level. But when it was done, it was done. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look to see who's in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Hunter Biden's in the chat. Good to see you, Hunter Biden. How are you? Are you streaming this on your laptop? So we can link Xbox Game PC Pass to GeForceNow. What? Not quite. It's not Xbox Game PC Pass. No. It's not the Xbox Game PC Pass. It's just Xbox PC games. Slight difference. You need to own, you still need to own the games. It's a bring your own, isn't it? It's the very thing about GeForce Now to a certain degree. Ubisoft Plus aside, maybe very much a bring your own. So you've got to own the Xbox PC games, and initially they're via Steam, and then we'll see the Microsoft PC Game Store come as its separate connected app, the GeForceNow. But for the time being, it's those games that are already on Steam. Neil's in the house. Good to see you. Cloudbuster's been playing Death Stranding. It's free on Epic. I think I got it when it was free on Epic over Christmas time. I think it was on Christmas Eve or something they did it. Good to see everybody in the chat. Don't forget to hit the likes, everybody. It's much appreciated. Hey, Soiltech, how are you? What's up? Oh, Neil J's playing Terraria today. I never really got into that. I never really got into it. I'm waiting for Flight Sim. I tell you what, I reckon Flight Sim, based on my experience of Flight Sim, will be incredible to play on GeForceNow Ultimate. And one of the best things about it is not having to download the damn thing. Flight Sim, for me, when my son wanted to play it when it first came out, and obviously play it on PC. Oh my God, it took me ages to download. Such a big thing. So to be able to play it with no downloads, all the updates, all the airports, all the new aircraft, that would be a good one. I agree, Hunter. Be a good one. Hey, Suarez, how are you? How are you? Suarez, I've been playing Fortnite a bit, but never really got into it when it first came out, but enjoying it now. Now, Suarez, are you like me? Do you play the non-build? I cannot be doing with the building element. Like, my son obviously went through a whole Fortnite phase. I think he got into the European Champions League. I think that's what it was called. Which meant he sort of qualified for prize money, but he wasn't old enough. So, like when he was 11 or 12, maybe 10, 10 or 11, but he wasn't old enough to earn any money. But yeah. How is GFN for accessories? Yeah, I'm not sure, actually. That's a good question. I don't want to speak with any authority, but I'm not sure what it is like. If anybody does know whether you can use like a steering wheel, and presumably if you can use a steering wheel, you can use like a flight sim stick thing. Not a big Terraria fan, but fun enough to play co-op with my son. Yeah, I play non-build. That's what I like. It's like PUBG. I can play in the cloud, exactly. And I think it's a bit more fun, oddly enough, than PUBG. I enjoy PUBG, but PUBG can be a miserable game sometimes. You don't see anybody for ages, and then some rando snipes you from miles away, and it's with a Moisen Gant, whatever it's called, Moisen Gant sniper rifle, and it's game over, and you just think, what? Spent 20 minutes scouting about for stuff. But whereas, and also I think my old eye, well, I'm slightly colorblind. I always think that games with a sort of military tinge to them are sort of browns and greens and that kind of stuff. I kind of always find a bit of a struggle slightly, whereas Fortnite's in your face in colours. Yeah, it's a sort of, there's such bright, bold characters and colours. I think if you do have issues with colour blindness with, those sort of earthy browns and greens and reds, it's easier to play. That's my excuse anyway. But I remember testing it out, I think, on GeForceNow. And yeah, like the first game I hadn't played in ages and ages and ages. And I got like a second. And then I think the next match, Battle Royale. So yeah, it's still fun to play. But I too prefer the non-build element and all of that. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's just have a roundup of the news very quickly. So as I said, ladies and gentlemen, yes, Microsoft PC games coming to GeForce Now, starting with Gears 5. Yes, you heard me right. Following the announcement several weeks ago that Xbox PC games would be coming to GeForce Now, the first of what will be many titles lands today. Yes, today, in the form of the brilliant Gears 5 from Coalition, to be quickly followed by more titles from Xbox from next Thursday. If you're unfamiliar with Gears 5, it's a third-person shooter video game developed by the Coalition and published by Xbox Game Studios. It's the fifth main installment in the Gears of War series and was released for Xbox One and Microsoft Windows on September the 10th, 2019. In Gears 5, players assume the role of Kate Diaz, a protagonist introduced in Gears of War 4. The game takes place after the events of the previous game and follows Kate as she uncovers the origins of her family and the true nature of the Locust Horde. Alongside her are familiar characters from the series such as Marcus Fenix and JD Fenix, as well as new allies. The gameplay of Gears 5 retains the core mechanics of the series, featuring cover-based shooting, intense action sequences, and they are intense, and cooperative gameplay. It introduces some new elements, including open-world exploration sections and a skiff vehicle that allows players to navigate the game's environments as you skim across the icy plains. The game also introduces a new multiplayer mode called Escape, where players must work together to escape from a hostile environment. Gears 5 received generally positive reviews from critics, praising its visuals, gameplay improvements, and emotional depth of the story. And I remember playing it through on the Xbox One, and yeah, there are some brilliant boss levels in it. But what about the other Xbox games and Bethesda games, I hear you shout? I know you shout at the screen, I can hear it. Anyway, well, the stream of Xbox PC titles continues next week with the arrival of Deathloop, Grounded, and Pentiment, all via Steam. And in the coming months, there'll be full support for the Microsoft Store itself through GeForce Now. And GeForce Now have informed me that the Xbox PC games will be added regularly over the following weeks. Finally, it's happening, people! But wait, there's more! The latest GeForce Now app updates are also rolling out. Version 2.052, for those who like to keep a running check of these things, brings a few fit and finish updates for members, including a new way to easily catch game discounts, content, and more. You can check out the in-app release highlights for more info. And of course, it's not just Xbox PC titles arriving this week. We also see the arrival of Tin Hearts and the Outlast Trials, both new releases on Steam this week. So there you go. There's a roundup of the games and news this week, just so we're all up to speed. And yeah, interesting enough, Phil Spencer tweeted out the very news. Here we go. Look. Today's announcement marks a big milestone in our promise to bring more games to more people, however they choose to play. Obviously, there's a kind of political element to this in relation to, obviously, this is all connected with their bid to get the merger with Activision Blizzard approved. But, yeah, and he's basically retweeting head of marketing at Xbox, Sarah Bond. Starting today, Nvidia GeForce Now members can stream Gears 5 with Deathloop, Grounded, and Pentiment on May the 25th. Just the first step in our commitment to making our PC games globally available through a variety of cloud gaming services. See what they say on their blog, actually. Okay, this is interesting. I've not checked this. This is the first time I'll be checking this one, actually. We're thrilled to share that starting today, Nvidia GeForce Now Cloud Gaming members in the UK, the US, and the European Union, and around the world can stream Gears 5 on May the 25th. We'll be able to enjoy fan favourites Deathloop, I quite enjoy. I started playing Deathloop, and then I think I got distracted by something else, maybe A Plague's Tale or something like that. I should definitely go back to it. Grounded. I played the sort of the beta version of Grounded. All right. But then my son was playing Grounded with his mates a couple of weeks ago. And he never played it first time round when it's sort of in its sort of beta stage. And him and his mates having a whale of a time on it. He's saying it was really good. Doing you know, multiplayer co-op stuff together, building up, you know, and they built. I mean, it was like, you know, they'd all built their own houses in the garden, all over different houses. They'd, you know, just like in Minecraft, they'd sort of built it out, added stuff, and all this kind of stuff. He was loving it, him and his mates. You know, they're like 13, 14, and they think it's really cool. And Pentiment, which again I did play. All these are on Xbox Game Pass. Interestingly enough, these titles, and Gears 5 was as well. This is just the beginning of our forward-thinking 10-year partnership with Nvidia to make PC games from Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda. I like the way that they separate out the two. Come back to that in a minute. The initial slate of launch games spans our catalogue, providing players high-quality, immersive titles with a little something for everyone. Single-player campaigns, story-driven experiences, and opportunities to play with friends and family through multiplayer. Following this initial release, we'll continue to add more content from our portfolio on a regular basis. So that means we will have something to talk about on a regular basis, ladies and gentlemen. To ensure players can always find a new and exciting game. Members will be able to stream PC hits from Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda. Got that. First in our partnerships. Starting with Nvidia GeForceNow, Boosteroid, Ubitus, EE. We still don't know what this partnership with the EE actually is. I mean, these are all cloud gaming platforms. GeForceNow, Boosteroid, Ubitus, and Enware in Spain, I think it is. But EE, I mean, I don't know what. We remain committed to releasing current titles from Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda and future Activision Blizzard PC games once the acquisition goes through. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Xbox, the Xbox perspective on things. Still check out Bethesda. Just as a sort of, you know, indicative. Hello. 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 Deathloop, Ghostwire. Skyrim. Fallout. Doom. Not a bad selection, ladies and gentlemen, of games potentially coming. Internet of Games, the EE's BT Gaming, but are they up and running yet? That's the thing with BT Gaming. Now, quickly on the Gears 5, as I mentioned, this is on Lord Kenzel's channel. And look, here we are, Gears 5, Act 2, defeating the matriarch. 8,000 views that's had. Compared to like 51 views, 13 views, 100 views, 66 views. Over 8,000 views. Obviously, loads of people struggled with this. It was a mighty old struggle. I really enjoyed the game though. I finished it as well, so that's obviously a good sign. These are my early days of Lord Kenzel streaming 3 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. Gosh. So yeah, very exciting. I think we're looking for exciting times when it comes to the partnership. Let's have a quick look at the app update. I think this is a really cool update, actually, this app, because it's really useful being able to see, as you can see here, 30% off, 25. You can see, rather than sort of going, having to go to Steam or Epic and see if there's it's on a sale. You're getting that information up here, and you go, oh, it's in the Resident Evil 3 in a sale. So I think that's really useful. A nice little touch. Just looks nice and is functional and useful, that you can kind of find out what's in a sale, what's in early access, without necessarily having to go to the your Steam library, your Steam store, or your Epic store, etc. You can see it from the GeForceNow store. So that's kind of cool, I think. Now, just on Gears 5, I noticed Dom from Nvidia GeForceNow tweeted out this the YouTube video from Cloud Gaming Extreme, who were demonstrating that Gears 5 on GeForceNow Ultimate stays fairly consistent in and around 120 frames per second at 4K. There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, the monsters are brilliant. I mean, like proper, it feels like a proper, it certainly did to me, it felt like a proper up-to-date, modern, back in 2019 this was, third-person shooter with big monsters, explosions, really, you get like proper big monsters suddenly appearing out of the ground, and you're thinking, oh my God, and you get really absorbed in the whole cinematics of it. And basically Cloud Gaming Extreme, shout out to Cloud Gaming Extreme there, demonstrates in this video that you're getting consistently at 4K, roughly 100 and 120 frames per second consistently, even in busy moments on screen. And there's lots of busy moments on the screen in some games. And I started thinking, when I played it on Xbox One, and this is Xbox One, might have been the Xbox One X. I was thinking, was it at 30 frames per second? I checked it out. It's telling me that even on the Xbox One, they managed to eke out 60 frames per second, which makes you wonder what other developers are doing. If they were getting a game as cinematic and as spectacular as Gears 5 to run at 60 frames per second on Xbox One. Just saying. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a good story as well. I saw some people saying Gears 1 and 2 were better, but, I don't know any better Intergalactic Mr. Pimp because I never played them. But my experience of Gears 5 was really good. So, I like a good story. I like good action, great graphics. I'm a sort of a mainstream big AAA banger game player. Gears 5 delivers that to me, definitely. It's a start, but I'm not buying a Microsoft game twice. Should be Play Anywhere. Yeah. What do you mean if you buy it? Yeah, but I think it's fair enough you buy the Xbox version. I think in the future, as I said, I can imagine a time where you purchase a game and it's platform agnostic, as it were. But I think if you bought the Xbox One version, that's, for the console, that's fair enough. But if you've bought the PC version, then you can play it. You will be able to play it on GeForceNow. Maybe not now if you bought it via the Microsoft Store, but once the Microsoft Store's up and running, then definitely you should be able to play it. Of course, Gollum is what, next week as well. So yeah, it should be a good old week, because Deathloop and Grounded are great games. Definitely good games to play. Did I see someone saying about Grounded? I can't wait, my precious. They are, Neil. They're going to integrate the Microsoft Store. It specifically says in the blog, which I've gone and I will show you. Here we are. Members will be able to so they're just starting with the Steam titles because it's the easiest thing to do. Because obviously we just sat around, or your alternative is just sit around and wait for them to create the Microsoft Store version and then not see any games. Some of the Xbox PC games already on Steam, so it's a lot easier just to opt them in straight off so that we get that opportunity to play. But in the long term, well, no, not even the long term, over the next few months, so maybe over the summer, members will be able to stream these Xbox PCs hits purchased through Steam on PC. So initially, Gears 5, Deathloop, Grounded, Pentiment have to be purchased via Steam. Support for Microsoft Store will become available in the coming months. So it's a come-in. Yeah, it's a come-in. So they are, Neil, to answer your question, they are going to be integrating the Microsoft Store. Yeah, I might. I don't know. I might visit. I might give Grounded a go. There's it's funny if you're there's an arachnophobia mode on Grounded. The spiders are quite scary, especially if you're arachnophobic. So they've got an arachnophobia mode. And so you just basically get, instead of a spider, because it's quite, looks like a giant spider because you're tiny. Instead of like a spider with legs, because it's the legs that do it for people. Yeah, it's those 8 legs on a spider that does it for people. So it's a floating blob with 2 eyes. I don't know. That looks freaky to me. But if you put it on arachnophobia mode, yeah, it's just a blob with 2 eyes. Elegant says, Xbox games suck. Let's see Sony games. Thank you for your contribution, Elegance. Elder Scrolls Online will be quite positive as many Stadia players enjoyed that. Indeed. I'm playing a Sony game on GeForceNow right now because Death Stranding is free on Epic. Exactly. And that is, that looks great. I mean, I know people say you've got to sort of just get through it and get to the end and the payoff's really good. But I don't know. I get a bit... It's so... I get a bit bored with it. Okay, I'm honest. I'll just get a bit bored with Death Stranding. Hi-Fi Rush is... it's a lot of fun, but then I never really got sucked into it. But I did enjoy playing it initially when it launched and all the hype around it, and it was good fun. And I loved it graphically, and just all the added details, the sound, the graphics, the finishing poses, everything, just the added layers to it, and the animation style, just really the polish, I think is the word I'm looking for. The polish they've added to Hi-Fi Rush really sells the game to me. They use dynamic resolution on Xbox, to make it look so good. It did look good on the One X, yeah. Hey, Geek, the sneaks in the house. Whoop, whoop. You think Forza will come? Yes. I do, Slap Gamer. I do believe Forza will be coming. It's basically, they've had to open the doors. Yeah? They've had to open the doors. So if you can buy the game, effectively, The scenario will be, the situation will be, if you can buy the game on the Microsoft Store, it should ultimately be opted into GeForce Now. So initially, all the Xbox and Bethesda games that are currently on Steam will slowly be, opted in over the next few weeks. And then once they've got the Microsoft Store app up and running, and you can link your GeForce Now account to the Microsoft Store, then the games that you purchased via the Microsoft Store should be able to be playable by GeForce Now, on GeForce Now. Now, look, there's going to be a few exceptions and stuff like that, but things like Forza and whatnot, definitely, I think. Yeah, as internet... See, it took me about 2 minutes to say that, but Internet Games just said, yeah, they're all coming. Yeah, what he said. I mean, Forza Horizon 4, not 5. Yeah, if it's available on the PC, on the Microsoft Store... Forza's the worst performing game. Oh, on xCloud. Actually, it was the first game on xCloud that convinced me that actually they'd made a big improvement, oddly enough. Playing Forza Horizon 5, via xCloud, because it's such a good-looking game, made me realize, actually, I think they'd nailed it. I thought, wow, finally, I think xCloud is getting there. It was a vast improvement on my previous experience of xCloud, which was quite some time before that. It's still not doesn't touch the hem of GeForce Now Ultimate, but, I thought it showed it off quite well. 25th, Gollum comes out, my precious. Yes, indeed. Do you have a vampire phobia mode in Redfall? Yeah, it's just some teeth. No, actually, it's no teeth. It's just an old man or old woman, no teeth, going like that, flapping about. We're going to get you and suck your blood. Yeah. Inled's in the house. Good to see Inled. Expected Forza Xboxes kind of suck. You think you get Sony game for some reason. Just grab Death Stranding. Yeah, definitely grab it if it's on. I'm going to check that out. Epic Game Store, because as I said, it was available. Giveaways. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, look. I definitely recommend you get the game, and you can play it as I know. You can play it on GeForce Now. Is that right? I'm not muddling out with Boostroid, am I? Can't remember. Internet Games said you could play it, but anyway, definitely worth it. Just having your collection, and it's free, ladies and gentlemen. It's free. What do we think this is? I'm trying to see if I recognize the... mystery game unlocking next week. Maybe we should put that in some sort of reverse internet picture search. Anybody, any ideas what next week's game might be? Let us know. I'll just leave it there for a bit longer. xCloud in November wouldn't run properly for me. Oh, that's unfortunate. The retro gamer in me is waiting for Doom 64 and the Quake remaster from Night Dive Studios. I remember I played Doom 64 on Stadia. It was quite fun. It's a walking simulator in real terms, so you sign off your night times, indeed. The director's cut doesn't work on GFN. Ah. Yeah, Doom will. Basically, if it's available via the Microsoft Game Store, is like if it's an Xbox PC game, if it's a Bethesda game, if the merger goes through, then if it's an Activision Blizzard game, then yes, it will be. So that's the thing. That is the brilliance of the deal, and that's guaranteed for 10 years. Guaranteed for 10 years. So, yeah. I mean, if I went to the Microsoft Store now, now, presumably they mean this store. Doom 64, Bethesda. There's a Bethesda title. So it's one of the ones that will be coming. Or one of the titles potentially to be coming because it's Xbox PC and Bethesda titles. And obviously play it by Game Pass. Or buy it for £3.99. £4. There we go. Al Davis Music. £3.99 of your finest English pounds. Okay, we won't put my password in. I can't get enough of walking simulators. You know what would really be good if I could, right, I could rig it up to my treadmill. That'd be good. It's just tedious when he falls down because he's got too much of a heavy backpack. Cloudbus is saying TT Isle of Man is really good bike game. Even makes me laugh when I crash. Now, I understand it's quite difficult. It's quite a steep learning curve. It's like a proper serious racing game. Let me know whether you think that is the case, if that's your experience. There was, I swear, something else I was going to talk about, and perhaps not. Checking on. Bear with me. Right. Yeah. Which games you hope to be the next free game on Epic? Yeah, like the point is, can you tell? That's the thing from the picture. I feel like I recognize elements of the picture. I'm just going back to it. The mystery game next week. I feel I recognize it, but then maybe it's just generic. This sort of. It just looks familiar. It's bugging me. Starfield hype? Yeah. Well, it's not long actually. The Xbox showcase, and bear in mind, as you know, GeForceNow people, what they show at the Xbox showcase in terms of the PC games is all good news for GeForceNow. That's what I'm thinking. It's got that kind of, you put in a kind of, kind of thing. Can't be due. Anyway, prizes for anybody who can guess. Just seeing if the... Yeah, no, there's something slightly more organic, I think, about the Doom Eternal control panels and stuff like that. It's not quite... Yeah, that's not quite organic enough, in my opinion. But that's just my thoughts on it. That's just my thoughts. But I also feel as strongly it isn't Doom. Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. It feels like I'd go more Halo than Doom, but it's not Halo, is it? Some sci-fi thing. That narrows it down in terms of games, doesn't it? Some sci-fi thing. Beggars can't be choosers. There we are. Doom Eternal isn't on sale. Oh, yeah. Doom 64 is $3.99. Just looking at, I'm getting carried away at the old. See what sales are on at Steam actually while we're here. While we're quickly having a look. Okay, those Euro Truck Simulator, ladies and gentlemen. I noticed. Oh, recommended by GeForceNow Friendly. Oh, I'm loving that. Of course, yeah, I signed up to GeForceNow Friendly. Ages of Wonder. Where did I just see that sign? I saw. Go to the sales quickly, ladies and gentlemen. EA is having a publisher sale. Not that that's going to necessarily help you on GeForce Now. Is it Dead Space, that thing? Any sci-fi thing that picked. That's basically EA's publisher sale. We just want your general sale. Oh, Metro series. What? Metro 2033 Redux. $2.99, ladies and gentlemen. $2.99. I love the Metro series. Great characterization. Metro Exodus. Excellent. Really cool. We can watch the Xbox showcase. Cloud gamers hungry for hype. Exactly. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Al Davis Music. I wonder if they'll let you add Microsoft games purchased from Epic Games down the line. At the moment, I think there are some games which they've kind of joined up. So if you've got it on one or the other. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Sometimes if you've got it on, if it's on Epic, it might not be on. Yeah, it might only be available on Steam. Most of the games that are released for GeForce Now are via Steam. Whenever I do the news video, it's always the most thing I tend to sort of cut and paste is available on Steam, available on Steam, available on Steam. Occasionally I have to go available on and change it to Epic Games Store. But mostly it's me cutting and pasting available on Steam, available on Steam. If it falls, I'm on it. But seriously, this isn't a good start. I mean, Gears 5, seriously. Lap Gamer, oh, so demanding. It's Gears 5's a cracking game. Cracking. Love it. Far Cry 6 only just released on GFN Steam. Yeah, exactly. Had been on Ubisoft, but, you know, not Steam. The minimum spec requirements of Steam don't seem very generous. I've been discovering lots of games run well on my ancient gaming PC. But there's a sort of minimum that will chug along at. Then there's a sort of a recommended, you know, for a reasonable gaming experience. And then there's your kind of luxury, full-on, you know, top of the range stuff. Let's just check out the these sales here. Planet Zoo, Small Land, Age of Wonders. Top seller, that is. Void Train, of course, last week. Has anybody played Void Train since it came out last week? Let me know in the chat, of course. Oh, here we are, special offers. Browse more. Let's check out the special orders. It may be, yeah, it may be, but it may be just the first one that they, you know. The thing is, you've got Grounded and Deathloop. Deathloop's only a few months old, coming out next week. I think it's their Bethesda games for some reason. That's the common denominator, I think, isn't it? Anyway. There's a Wired. I've got their birthday publisher sale for big, great indie games. Kagua Games publisher. Oh, Metro franchise weekend deal. Buy Metro Last Light Complete Edition, free to play. Okay. Always worth having. Thank you, Deep Silver. Did Microsoft give Nvidia keys for Gears for you guys? No, not yet. That's not to say they won't. I don't always get the keys. I guess I'm not as popular as the other guy, children. Dom sometimes forgets me. You know, they try to ask for keys where they can from certain publishers, but they, you know, they have to sort of really justify the number of keys they get and stuff like that. Yeah, Slap Gamer, that is a good question. No Star Wars Jedi yet. Yeah, that's annoying. That's EA. That's just down to EA. They're just a bit pernickety and fussy about releasing games onto GeForce Now. Occasionally they do. They get there, but they pick and choose. Oh, Alan Wake remasters on sale. So I played some of the Alan Wake titles because they were re-released on Xbox Game Pass, I seem to think, or they were part of Xbox Gold about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe even longer. And I played them. They were good. I don't know what the remaster's like, but it definitely was good. Football Manager. V Rising. Here we are. Look, so Euro Truck. If you're into Euro Trucks, driving a big truck around Europe, I know that is popular with many people. £4.12. You want to sit around driving? Get yourself a little steering wheel? Well, my son asked me, my son came in, he said, Dad, can I get a steering wheel? I said, what for? Like, you don't really play many racing games. You've suddenly gone all F1 on me or something. So I looked it up. Like, how much are steering wheels? Like proper, you know, like decent ones. Not like proper, even cheap ones are not cheap. Oh, complete edition Last Light, not compatible with GeForce Now. Boo. That is a shame indeed. NBA 2K, Civilization, City Skyline, EA. Because they're virtually giving away EA, aren't they? Because we're coming to the end of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think? Yes, I do. I think they will. You know, I think EA like to sort of keep the big games, you know, exclusive to them. You know, quite as long as they can. In my experience, it may also be a licensing deal situation because obviously the other licensed the from Lucas Arts and all that kind of stuff. So, but I'd like to think yes. I think we'll get it sometime, but not for a while. That's the thing. That's the only annoying thing. Bum Simulator. There's some cracking games on Steam, aren't they? Oof. They say they don't have an editorial filter. That's the thing. PC games. What I did notice is actually there's a thing on GeForceNow site where you can search for all the games. I didn't realize it lists all the games in alphabetical order, all nearly 1,600 games. So if you ever do doubt, you could just go to the GeForceNow because obviously they're not always on. Some are on, GOG, GOG, whatever. Some are on the CD Projekt Red store. Some are on Epic Game Store. Some are on Steam Store. So it's good to have a central place where you can kind of look. Grip Combat Racing, only 374. Deliver Us the Moon. I got a bit discombobulated with that. 699. Those Who Remain. I got into that and then I sort of got a bit bored. 479. Arcade Paradise. Tenner. Falconeer. Always reminds me when I used to play Sea of Thieves years ago, there was a guy, an Australian guy that I kind of met online playing Sea of Thieves with sometimes. And his gamer tag was Far Canal. Yeah? Far Canal. And I kind of thought, what a strange playing now broadcasting down there. I thought, what a strange gamer tag. And then I realized, just say it in order to say Far Canal in an Australian accent, and then you'll kind of get it. Lamote. Oh, Tin Hearts, which of course is available today on GeForceNow. 20 quid. And coming soon, Gory. Excellent. So there we are. That's a quick look. Anybody still work out what this is? It's annoying me. Something in which you sort of put in like a plug thing, a seal of some sort. No, it's going to annoy me now. Right. If they put Jedi Survivors into EA Play, I think we might get it. Yeah. That's a good way. If they feel like, okay, we'll put it in EA Play, a bit like the FIFAs, once they've got to the end of their life, their season, like we're seeing now with FIFA 23, because they're going to be announcing EA Sports FC, the details of that in the next few months, aren't they? Usually, I wonder if it's close. When do they normally announce it? Grid Legends might be on sale. Yeah, that did look a good racing game. Is it not on not coming up there? Is it not on Steam? Oh, I'm looking on Epic, sorry. I was on the wrong one there, my bad. I'll have a quick look for you. We'll have a quick look. Always like to provide a service. It's lovely to see everybody live as well. I know I'm just seem to be going through what's on sale at the moment, but I find it interesting and I like to see what people are playing. $9.99 Grid Legends. So this is an example, isn't it, of a game that's on GeForce Now, isn't it? Yeah. Recommended by GeForce Now Friendly. It's an EA game, albeit Codemasters. And right now, at $9.99. Oh, now that might be worth getting because by all accounts, it's a good racing game. Now they're putting deals in the GFN app, of course, too. Of course, exactly, yes. As I just said in the news, I could just look up there and it will tell you. Indeed. You can do a Google image search with it. Exactly, Neil, that's what I was thinking. I'm just happy I don't have to buy a PC, a GeForce. Yeah, exactly. That's the beauty. I mean, if you've got like if you've got a nice Chromebook, something like that. I mean, I'm thinking of getting the Pixel tablet, put it on its little stand, controller. I'm off. Me too, but when we can get, wish we could get. I'm presuming that's wish we could get Warner Brothers games in GFN. Oh, it is wish, yeah. True. Well, hopefully, in a way, this whole Nvidia Microsoft relationship, meaning that more and more games are coming to, going to be available, bigger game, more profile games. GeForce Now has never had a problem in terms of the amount of games. Okay, that's not a question. Yeah, when people say, "Oh, GeForce Now ain't got no games," they're kind of misspeaking, aren't they? What they really mean is it hasn't got the big games necessarily they want to play, and there's a big difference. So, GeForce Now, plenty of games, like nearly 1,600 odd games. Not the amount of games. It's the more high profile games that people kind of want to see, and maybe with the Xbox PC games, of which most of them are high profile games. I mean, there's plenty of interesting there's plenty of variety there, but a lot of that variety is high profile, whether it's your Deathloop, your Grounded, sort of nice, reasonable games, chunky games. When Halo's available, Starfield will be available. Yeah, Redfall, for all its controversy. It might help GeForce Now's case in terms of, look at these incredible, all these Xbox PC, all these Bethesda games. Look at these fancy Bethesda games. Look at these fancy Xbox PC games on GeForce Now. You're missing out, EA. You're missing out, Take-Two, Get your games on here as well. Otherwise, you're going to start looking like Billy No Mates, the odd ones out. So it might help. It might help. Every EA game on GFN is in EA Play, but not every EA Play game. Yeah. For me, the best setup is a Mac Retina 5K with GeForce Now over a 1080 PC. Yeah, well, if you've got a nice, beautiful Mac, definitely. I've not tried. I should try it out. I should nick my daughter's Airbook and give GeForce Now a go on that and see what it's like, ladies and gentlemen. We've still got that screening in the background there. Bit of entertainment, bit of eye candy for you. There you go. EA plays $3.99 a month on Steam, and you get to play what's signed in on GFN. Do you? I didn't know that. I thought you had to. I thought it stood outside. But if you have EA Play and it's on Steam, the game's on Steam, You can play the games via GeForce Now. That's good to know. I wasn't 100% sure about that Internet of Games, so that's very good. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a quick rush through and look at this week's GeForce Now news. I want to thank you for joining me as ever. I really, really appreciate it. It's lovely to see you all in the chat live. And if you're watching the show after the event, that's lovely as well. Don't forget to hit the likes. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, toggle the notification bell, and that way you'll know when I go live with content just like this. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And hopefully I'll see you next week. Either on the Xbox Monday Night Chat or the GeForce Now Thursday. We'll be talking about more Xbox games coming and all of that. And on that note, as I say, have a great weekend and all of that. Rest of the week and weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. It's appreciated. Sayonara.